evening, everyone. How's it going? alecandstuff here, and we are on our final daily recap of E3 2019. So, as always, I'm joined by our good friend of the channel, Mr. ShadowLink, who's very excited. He got some toys throughout today's through today's adventures. So let's go ahead and start from the top.
Yes.
So today was the final day of E3, and boy, howdy, was it eventful. It was not only the longest day of the convention. It started at 9 a.m. rather than 11/12 p.m. or a.m. like in the morning. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we had a very long day, a very large amount of time to do all the last things that we want to do on the final day of the show. And my day started off with some Luigi's Mansion. So right when the gates opened this morning on the show floor, I was like, there's only one thing I want to do left at the show, and that is Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yep.
So me and
I was with him.
Yeah, me and him booked it over to the Nintendo booth, and we got in a solid hour.
Yeah, it was only an hour wait. I think that's the shortest wait that I have ever had at E3.
Especially for a Nintendo game, like, man, that was a very short wait.
We lucked out.
We got in, and my God, that was an experience.
It was.
That was amazing.
If you guys don't know, the Luigi's Mansion demo was actually, it was placed in a pretty much mansion-like kind of just scene. Mm-hmm. It was very dark. It was only lit by like black light, and then various flashlights that the staff would come up to, that you would come up to staff and they'd be like, "Good evening."
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. It was some S-tier presentation as far as demo areas are concerned.
The ambience was very spoopy.
It was very spoopy. We played the game. The demo was great. Couple things I want to say about the game itself, actually, before I get into the rest of the experience, is that the game was actually very surprising for me because I wasn't anticipating to love it as much as I do. For those of you that watched my predictions video, I've been kind of hesitant on the game, but after the E3 presentation and then actually playing it on the show floor, my confidence in this game has actually been reinvigorated massively. The environment itself is very dark in comparison to Dark Moon. It's not exactly quite as dark and gritty as I wanted it to be, like, you know, in comparison to the original Luigi's Mansion, but dark enough to please me. And the demo itself was like basically just a couple of little puzzle solving areas that led up to a boss fight. And for me, it was cool. So the demo started off with this little cutscene that played, which is very cool, by the way. I love the cutscenes in this game that they've shown off so far.
The cutscene, I accidentally pressed a button when I was picking up the controller, so I skipped the whole thing. You
skipped the whole cutscene, dude.
By accident.
But the cutscene that I watched was actually I believe the trailer as well. So whatever you see in the trailer is like one of the opening cutscenes for the game. So that's what I watched, and then after that point, it led into like this little gameplay area where you're playing with the ghost dog. I can't remember the ghost dog's name, but he's been in past Luigi's Mansion games. And it kind of teaches you some of the base mechanics of the game. So like flashing your flashlight to stun a ghost. There's also the mechanic of sucking them, and pressing the A button actually slams them on the ground, which is probably one of my favorite new mechanics because in a couple of the fights that I was getting into with some of the ghosts in the mansion, there was a couple that would have shields, so you couldn't stun them with your flashlight. But if you managed to get a hold of another ghost that maybe didn't have that armor set with them, you could suck them in and then slam them on top of the ghosts that had their shield, thus causing them to drop it, and then actually slamming them also does splash damage. So you can actually slam the ghost on the other ghost with the shield, they drop the shield, then you can stun them and then start sucking them into, and it's great. It's like a chain effect.
Basically, you get a free ghost flail to just...
it's so satisfying. And it's not only once either. Like, when you stun them and then grab hold of them and you start slamming them, it's like 3 or 4 slams. Luigi's out here going like all Hulk mode on him, just bah! And you can like change angles and stuff. It's so cool.
Luigi has absolutely lost it.
He is done.
He is
done with these ghosts in his mansion. But That was probably one of my favorite new mechanics of the game. There was, as I said, a couple of different light puzzle solving segments to go through, and then the eventual boss fight at the very end, which was also like, it was good. I will say that they don't really strike me as, what's the word I'm looking for? Unique as some of the portrait ghosts of the original, but way, way better than some of the boss fights that you would find in Dark Moon. So overall, I was very pleased with the demo. I was actually really surprised, and I'm gonna have a hot take here, so if anyone has any problem with what I'm about to say, you're just gonna have to deal with it. But there was 3 big demos that Nintendo had on their show floor this year. It was Link's Awakening, they also had Pokemon Sword and Shield, and Luigi's Mansion. And out of all 3 of them, actually, Luigi's Mansion was probably the one that I enjoyed the most. It was it was great. It played great. The whole entire ambience of the entire game was amazing. The soundtrack was also fantastic, by the way. Much like all the other demo areas that they had in Nintendo's booth, they had like some of the game's music like playing in the lobby, and I must say I am looking forward to listening to the soundtrack as well. So Luigi's Mansion 3, very, very good. I'm very impressed and looking forward to its release. I'm super excited. I can't wait. I'm still reeling over that demo experience, but if you have anything to say before I go into the demo experience itself, other than the game.
I mean, I think what really sold me, or other than I think what really sold me on the game is just, other than using your ghost as a flail, what really sold me is that the ambience and just like the whole scenery they put around it, like just kind of almost immersed you in the game a little bit more. So just being around all that while playing it kind of sold me a little bit more.
Oh yeah, it was so good.
I was just like,
it was so good.
You know, I am very inclined to purchase Luigi Mansion 3 for the Nintendo Switch, produced by Nintendo.
Oh my god!
I'm just feeling more inclined to do it. I'm hoping that it gives me the Luigi's Mansions 1 vibe, where
It felt very similar in a lot of ways, but still very much its own.
I'm still hoping it is like that, because Luigi's Mansion 1 is just like, it's my childhood horror game.
It's a that game scared me too as a kid.
Yeah.
There would be some points where you get to a point in the mansion that just looked too spooky, and I'd be like, I'm good.
I'm good. You know what?
I'm 9. I don't know.
No.
But so outside of the demo, as we were talking about earlier, the actual like place that you play the game in was themed around an entire like haunted hotel, which is where the game takes place in. So you had like these holographic ghosts flying all around the room. It was great. They also had these like gargoyle statues that were all stone. And for me, not for him because he finished his demo before me and kind of left, but for me, I'm going to see if I can actually include the video of this real quick just to throw up on screen. But for me, when I finished the demo, I kind of walked around so I could take some video and pictures of the place because it is gorgeous. But for me, while I was doing that, it was perfect timing. I was taking video, and then right when I was like turning a corner, you see Luigi himself walk in the room with a little flashlight like this, which is the one. This is the one that you actually get from playing the game. It's got Luigi's Mansion 3 here, and then Luigi on the other side. So he walks in with this, and then points it around at people like so, and like inspecting them. Inspecting them like that, and just like acting all scared and stuff, just like he is in the game. It's fantastic. Are you okay?
That is bright.
Is
oh
it
my
really?
god.
Oh! Oh, wow. Okay, I see what you mean.
That is not
Why
a
did I
low quality prop.
That is a high quality.
Oh my god.
Oh,
don't blind the audience. You
Oh man, it's been a long day as you could tell. But that was amazing. And right as we both walked out too, we were walking up to the front gate so I can take some pictures of some of the statues there. Charles Martinet. So for those of you that don't know who that is, he's not only the voice of Mario, but Luigi as well, and a couple of other characters in the Mario series. So this man is an icon. He's a legend. he was just kind of hanging out at the front of the entrance, taking pictures of fans, and it was really cool to be able to meet him again.
Yeah, we got the picture.
Oh man, that guy, he's amazing. You can really tell that he loves what he does because he's so just welcoming to anyone that wants to take a picture with him or anyone that has anything to say to him. He's just so ready to hear it. It's great. I love that man. But I got a picture with him and it was great. Anyways, so that was our Luigi's Mansion experience, and my God, I don't think anything's gonna top that for me at this year's E3. But after that, what did we actually do after Luigi's Mansion? Oh, after Luigi's Mansion, we came across the Atlas booth, and the line for Catherine Full Body was short enough to justify waiting in it and playing the game. And
yes,
Catherine is actually a game that came out originally, I think, in 2012 or 2013, something like that.
Pretty old.
Yeah, pretty early on in the 2010s. But I've played it before, and I loved it. It is a very adult game, so it surrounds a lot of different like adult themes and stuff like that, but it tells a very interesting story, a very crazy and very wacky story.
And the gameplay is actually there's a lot to it because it's like it's like a puzzle game, but also like a life game because you ask questions and then like the questions you answer, they show like what everyone else answered. So it's like it's a combination of things. It's like simulation. It's like puzzle almost. So.
Wait, oh yeah. So you played the story version, and I played the multiplayer version.
Yeah.
So there was two different experiences you could choose from in the demo for Catherine Full Body, and he got the single player experience, and I got the co-op, which was basically like the puzzle platforming version, and he got like the single player. What did you do?
Basically, what I did was they showed me some cutscenes of the game just to like get me to up to speed of what's kind of going on in the game, and then after like you do a couple cutscenes, then you go into the actual gameplay where you go into the elevator that they ask you a question. And
you did
answer
that.
It. So I did one. I did actually. One of the questions was the question was, do you care what people think about you? And it was like yes or no.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I put yes. And apparently, I was with 75% of people.
Yeah.
Who said yes.
So Catherine is a very complex game. There's an overarching story that revolves around this guy named Vincent Brooks, who has made some questionable life decisions. And you kind of play through that story as it unfolds. But on top of that, every night when he goes to bed, he has these nightmares about scaling this like wall slash like it's basically just a big wall that he climbs at night, and that's sort of the puzzle platforming sort of vibe that I got. And those are the two halves of the game. The other half being the single player story revolves around choice, and it kind of presents you with these questions of morality, and it's those kinds of questions where they're not right or wrong no matter what you choose. It's just kind of like a matter of opinion, which that very much lies like falls under that category. So that's interesting that you actually got to see that. But being that I've played Catherine before, I'm naturally very excited and can't wait to see what sort of new story elements they introduce with the new one. What sort of impression did it leave on you since you got to see like the single player stuff?
I am very excited. I love these kinds of games, but it's like I love it and hate it because I'm just like I love just seeing like all the drama unfold and everything, but also as the drama unfolding, I'm just like stop making poor decisions with your life, stop it. So it's really interesting, and those kinds of things get me like really invested when there's like you develop connections with characters and you see the connections that characters have with each other.
Oh yeah.
And you start getting invested in one way or another, and you're just like, oh my god, what am I doing? Man. What is my character doing? What is she doing? What is he doing?
That game's story is wacky for anyone that hasn't played it before, but. That was our experience with Catherine. We also got some free swag from that, but I don't think I don't have it readily available.
I have it. You can.
Oh man, he's running to his room. But so Catherine Full Body is coming out later this year as well. So
you basically got like a little bit of a sheep. headband, because in the dreams that you have, you become a sheep.
I'm pretty sure there's like a story element that explains why you turn into a sheep, but I can't remember.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
If you want to know, buy the game.
If you want to know, you got to play through the game. So yeah, we played through that. Where did we go? What did we do after Catherine? Oh, right. So, in order to satisfy our esports hunger for this year's show, last year it was the Overwatch 3v3 tournament. This year, they actually had some drop-in tournaments available for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which both of us entered in. I lost very early on, and I'm just gonna throw this out there. People can take it as they want, but I am very honest about my gameplay. When I play bad, I will say so. I don't feel like I played bad at in the match that I played. I actually didn't bring my controller this year, so I played with the one that they had available, which has been played by everyone that has attended the entire show for like the past 2 days. So like the sticks were just very stiff, and I wasn't able to like fast fall very well, and it just felt unpleasant. So I wasn't super bummed about it anyway, but I lost very early on, and I just kind of felt like it was mostly because of my controller. You can make of that what you will, but how did your games go?
My games went pretty well. I got 4th place, so that's nothing to be ashamed of. I'll take it. I was really hoping to at least make it to grand finals, but the match before that, I was playing a really, really good Mega Man who had a very good grasp on what he was doing.
Yeah.
I played Zelda game 1, and Zelda was just too slow to deal with it. I switched to Zero Suit, and I was doing well. I SD1 stock, and then I had to make a comeback real hard, and I got him down to his last stock, and I got him up to 40% until he finally finished me off. So if I didn't SD that one stock, I might have been able to bring it back. But it is what it is. It happens, and it was a really good game. It was very intense. Both of us he kind of like sighed when I was done. I was just like, ah. we both had like the sighs for different reasons, kind of stuff. So it was fun. It was really fun. I enjoyed it.
How many people were actually entered in that tournament? Do you know? Just out of curiosity, I actually don't know.
It's 16 per.
It was okay. So it was 16 per tournament, but they were hosting like 1 million during the day.
Yeah, it was only single elim, so it was also that. But I don't tell.
Yeah, that kind of sucked.
I mean, I don't say it was 16 people per tournament, just so you know. 4th place.
It was actually 65.
65. Just so you know, 4th place sounds better.
Hey, but like out of a place like E3 where you have this giant pool of people, 16 out of like 4th place out of 16 is not bad at all.
Yeah, I had to work for that a little bit.
Yeah,
I worked for that.
I watched that last game. That was actually pretty intense.
It was
Mega Man just actually knew what he was doing.
Yeah, I was just like,
he was ready.
He was really ready. I tried my best, man. It was.
I don't know the Mega Man matchup at all.
Exactly. So. That's why I'm just like Mega Man. Mega who?
So that took up maybe like 3 hours or so?
That accidentally took more time than it should have, because the guy was like, oh yeah, we'll be ready for this tournament at like 1 o'clock. It was 3 o'clock when I was ready.
It was very poorly organized.
It was poorly organized in terms of time.
I feel like some of that might not be their fault just because how many people were coming in and out, but it took a little bit longer than we anticipated. So by the time it was over, we had about maybe 2-ish hours left in the day. So we spent the rest of that just kind of roaming the halls and seeing the stuff we haven't seen over the past 2 days. I don't think I actually played anything past that point.
No, we didn't. The last thing that we did was we went to the Final Fantasy bike to take pictures.
Oh yeah, they had this giant Final Fantasy VII display at the very front doors, and it was like this bike or something from the game.
The bike.
I've never actually played Final Fantasy VII, so I have no idea what it's from.
Yeah, I believe it's the bike that Cloud rides on.
Is it Cloud's bike?
I think it's Cloud's bike, but someone's gonna be like, no, it's Tifa's.
No, you're so dumb. So yeah, we did that, and then afterwards we decided to leave a little bit early because there you go. So we had somewhere else to be, and that was the Overwatch League, because as some of you may or may not know, Overwatch League is actually based here in California in Burbank, which is about 20, 30 minutes from where we are now.
Yes.
So right after the convention ended, after we left the show, we sped right onto the Blizzard Arena.
Well, sped as in we hit
like
traffic.
Traffic willing, right?
Yeah, traffic actually made that whole trip like last an hour instead of 30 minutes.
I fell asleep that whole ride. I can't remember any of it.
Yeah, I was just looking at the map and I'm just like, this is gonna take a while. I see a lot of yellow and red lines of traffic. Oh no.
Yeah.
It was pretty rough, but I mean we got there.
Yeah, we got there and it was great. I have watched a lot of Overwatch League online, because they host streams all the time, and it was great. It lived up to my expectations and more.
Yeah.
The games we watched were really intense, and it was just really, really cool. As someone who plays this game hyper competitively like I do, I got a lot of satisfaction out of watching really high level Overwatch play. It was just a grand spectacle. It was amazing. There were so many passionate fans too in the crowd, and the commentary was great. The actual matches were amazing, and the presentation too, I feel like goes very much underappreciated when it comes to the Overwatch League, at least in my eyes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see a lot of people talking about how well those shows are put together, especially with how much they do them. There's maybe 4 or 5 live streams that are 9 hours long per week.
Yeah. And yeah, I think
And there's four stages that go on. This is just months and months of stuff, and they're all top notch.
And something that I really, really, really enjoyed about watching it live is that watching on live stream is pretty easy because you have all the gameplay and all the all the heads up, the hood there is great. It's pretty easy to watch. But when you think about it, it's like when you go there live, it's like, is it gonna feel the same way? Am I gonna be able to keep up with everything that's going on? And they do great with that. Because they have the face cams all below the players. They have the characters that they're playing right above them with all the health bars and their ultimates, right?
Yeah.
And then in the
That
middle,
was
you
super
see
cool.
all the gameplay. So it's very easy to keep up with. You don't have to zigzag all around to figure out what the heck is going on. They made it very easy just to kind of keep track of everything that's happening, and the commentators help with that too, with what they're talking about. And it was just very aesthetically pleasing to watch.
It's so well put together. They really deserve some props to their production team for how much it pays off. It looks so nice.
Yes, absolutely.
So that was Overwatch. Oh, we actually popped up on stream a few times, which is kind of like a quick little side note, but
We did.
that was really funny.
It was more of just I'm in the background corner here, and I'm just oh my god, Gary, and just very unnoticeable. So if you see me or Alec, you have really good eyes. So good job.
Yeah. So we actually just got home from that. So right now it is 11:15 at night, and thus concludes our last day of E3 2019. So all in all, I would say that these past 3 days have been amazing, wonderful. All the games I've played are top notch. I'm really excited for Link's Awakening. Pokemon Sword and Shield was played really well, and Luigi's Mansion. Oh my god, I can go on forever about that game, but I am very, very stoked for Nintendo's schedule for the rest of 2019. So, do you have anything else to add about everything that we've seen over the past however long? Is it 70 something hours? I don't know. The past couple days.
I'm gonna miss you, Alec.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're both leaving tomorrow morning, so this is gonna be the last time that we'll probably be seeing each other for a little bit, but it won't be the last. So, couple of things I want to say before we go. Number one is huge thanks to Nintendo of America, of course, for hosting me this year at the show. It was great. Thank you to our friend ShadowLink for joining me on these daily recaps per night. It's been, with our cram schedule, it's been kind of actually a little hard to fit these in, but we managed to do it.
We do it.
So, but yeah, this show has been great. E3 2019 has been amazing. And shout outs to ShadowLink as well as every single other person that I've seen these past couple days. It's been wonderful. This has probably been the best E3 I've ever been to thus far. So, yeah. I think that's pretty much going to do it. Feel free to let us know your thoughts on any of the games that were showcased this year down in the comments below, as I would love to discuss with you guys. All right. So, now that it is the third day, this is going to be the last time you guys are going to be seeing ShadowLink. Not in person. So, I want to say goodbye to our good friend here. We're going to end this conversation here. Unless, I think I already asked you this, but unless you have anything else to say before we take off.
E3 2019 was amazing, and honestly, it was even better than last year. So I'm hoping E3 2020, that's next year. Yeah, E3 2020 will be even better
Numbers
than this one.
Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be great. It's gonna be awesome, especially if you're there.
Aww.
Well, all right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and end this little chat here. Thank you all for tuning in and hanging out with us as we talked about our days. It's been fun, and you guys can feel free to look forward to more content coming to the channel soon. I leave for my flight tomorrow morning, so you guys can expect some more videos and photos and all that coming to the channel in the next couple days. I'll get to working on that as soon as I can. I'm standing because I don't feel like sitting because, I don't know, I just got this sudden burst of energy. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you... My God, I almost fell on my chair. Next year. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Wait, that's it.
Say goodbye.
That isn't your outro.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, you're right. Oh, you're right. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? It's been a long day. It's been a very long day. It's coming up on, oh my God. It's coming up on like 13 hours? Yeah, like 13 hours since I've been awake. 13 hours of just straight being out and doing stuff. This has been going on longer than it should be. Anyway, there's only one thing left to say at this point. So, of course, as always, I'm alecandstuff. This
is ShadowLink.
And I will see you all again real soon. I said it right this time.
Bye-bye.